The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. We Talk Wrestling. For the one stop you need for the most intriguing stories and headlines, and info on independent shows in multiple regions, We Talk Wrestling has you covered. Subscribe to Facebook's #1 interactive community for professional wrestling today. Pro wrestling on Tuesdays are a blast with the Wrestle Talk Podcast. Join the Night Owl, DJ Big Sexy, Luke Roberts, The Alpha, Jay Wade, Nightmare Jones, and many others as they bring you the hottest takes on the major circuits, showcase interviews with various indie stars, and the only place to get news on the most popular fantasy wrestling promotion, the FWWC. Catch them every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central. Find all of their media outlets on their website at WrestleTalkPodcast.com.
Before each and every show, we like to remind our audience that freedom is never free, and all of us should be grateful to those who lay it all on the line. To all our first responders, military, and volunteers that help our nation every day, we love you and appreciate the sacrifices you make to protect all of us.
Get ready for episode number 109 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast as we review the 2023 George Tragos Thesz Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame induction weekend in Waterloo, Iowa with our good friend from the Wrestle Talk Podcast, Luke Roberts. This podcast is scheduled for one episode where falls count everywhere.
And welcome everybody here on a great Sunday evening. We're all here in the house. And we're having a blast here. It's episode number 109 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. And we've got all of us here in the house. And apparently, according to some of the voices in my head, I think we may have more others here too. At least in the intro anyway. I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. And of course, the Gem City Mouse Zmiz here at the top right. GQ is joining us here down at the bottom of your screen. And make sure you're sharing the show. Get everybody out there.
No! Oh my God. Don't ever do that again. You just offended a whole... No, let me speak for all the youth. You're too old. Stop.
Don't do it, all right? It would be a bad move.
So thank you for everybody for coming in here tonight. And of course, tonight we are going to be reviewing here with episode number 109 the entire long weekend that was up in Waterloo, Iowa, with the National Wrestling Hall of Fame induction ceremony, wrestling show, everything. Well, we've got a lot to show you here and a lot to go over
Don't put that one on
this week.
You be nice.
Yeah,
I just said don't put that one on her.
First you're doing emotes from Fortnite way past your age, and now you're disrespecting the commentary. The comments.
Chat.restream.io/FB. Make sure you're getting that, visiting that site first, making sure it's okay to show your name when you're posting those here. We love all of our Facebook users, but put a name by
DJ name. Big Sexy.
Yes, sir. Yeah. We got photographic.
I need to cut nails. Will you stop?
Oh my goodness, what's happening? But we got photographic proof.
You got calls or something that you would throw out the door.
Of him going. Okay, what are you doing here? Or are we pet sitting? Or are we doing a show?
No,
what are we doing? I just want to know.
Got attacked.
Needs a nails clip is what it is. So.
Oh. Yes. No, it's not fun to get scratched by a cat in any way, shape, or form. But guys, make sure you're leaving your questions, your comments, anything else here for tonight. We just want to make sure that that you are interacting here with us as we are with you. Make sure that you share the show and make sure you're subscribing to all of our platforms That's here on Facebook. That's YouTube. That's, of course, Twitch. And, of course, also we do have pages on TikTok and Instagram now. We're trying to get all of our likes built up here. Trying to find a great marketing team to get us to where we need to be. But I haven't been able to get around to that yet. But we will. We will. We would love to start streaming live on TikTok. But we got to make a huge, huge, huge hurdle to go over
huge.
That. Yeah. Huge.
Huge.
Oh my gosh. So with that, we are waiting for Luke Roberts to get in and join us here this evening.
He's stuck looking at the ceiling. That's what it is. That's his problem. He looks at the ceiling way too damn much.
You're running your mouth, and I'm over here trying to promote the show.
Well, if you want to talk about that, I'm actually trying to make a hangout spot on Horizon Worlds on VR for people to come there and get more information on the show and stuff. Just saying. We have offices there. We have the studio there. We have everything there. Even a bar.
Yeah.
Barbecue pit.
Yeah, we like to be anywhere that's going to be actually, I don't know, do I want to say, what's what I'm looking for? Relevant. So we just want to make sure, we just want to make sure that we're being seen everywhere. That's all. So,
I mean, he's doing that, so
yeah.
The VR world has us now too.
Yes. Yeah, I know. And we got AI voices now that are doing some of our stuff. So, hey.
I was about to say, why'd you take a demotion on that? I mean, you usually always did that.
I know.
Yeah, I thought it was beautiful, Ruby. Don't listen to him. It was great. It saves your voice for the show. You're more relaxed now. You have a little bit more, oomph. So he's not burning himself out. He just types it up.
Doesn't mean he doesn't get still issues and errors and everything.
Tells Cindy to take care of it, and then Mandy on the other side.
Yeah, Cindy and Mandy.
I told that, and I got to see HR now for that.
Yeah. You need to be seen at HR.
Yeah. Yeah, Sydney, Mandy, and then Devin, or whoever's doing it. I don't know. Hey, what's your favorite?
Then Ted.
It's what?
Cindy, Mandy, then Ted.
Yeah.
I know the Bears are working in my studio. Sorry, man.
Oh man, come on.
I have a driving app that has Pretty Boy Floyd's voice on it.
Really? That's actually pretty
when
sick.
He tells you to stop and make a turn, good Lord, that's funny as hell.
Oh, that'd be hilarious, actually. I kind of want Pretty Boy Floyd to tell me how to get around a city now, too. Not gonna lie.
You go down a lot of alleys and back doors, though. So.
Whoa.
Hey, no.
Hey, Tyler. How you doing?
Hey, Tyler's here. Tyler was down in Waterloo, too. He may even.
How'd they let him back in, though? I mean, they could have kept him there. Tyler.
There you go. So we got a couple things we're going to get into here just briefly here before we get on here with Luke. And so first topic here we're going to talk about here, NXT cross-branding into Raw and SmackDown even after the draft.
Who cares what anything happens right now? My boy, Dirty Dom, is North American champion. Yes!
And we got so much heat on that. We just don't understand
when's the next match for
why.
Aubrey Edwards? I mean, when's her next match?
Stop. We're talking what? We're talking NXT.
I'm just saying in general. I mean, she's a good wrestler.
Stop. Shut up. Terrible.
Oh my god.
But no, it's really nice seeing like Judgment Day flow between all three brands. You have big things down with Baron Corbin now, kind of changing in his character. Carmelo Hayes has been seen on the main roster now with SmackDown and Raw, so he's jumped both shows. Supposedly, Bobby Lashley had a conversation with him, and we're getting a new reform of the Hurt Business like we should have had all along. Like, come on, man. Wrestling's killing right now in WWE.
Yeah, it's just that Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin are not
Sorry. The next comment I had to laugh at.
Okay.
Oh,
anyway,
hold on. This is the one. This is the one.
Oh, okay.
That is pretty funny. I like that. Oh, okay,
you want to promote you want to promote yourself, not demote yourself. But I mean, I go. I don't. I digress.
Oh, that was a shot in the dark right there with a machine gun.
No,
I wouldn't have done that.
Don't run and tell nobody, because
When do I ever run?
No, you don't run. You slither.
When there's a donut at the finish line.
No.
Yeah, okay. I'll give you that.
I'm not going to. I know a lot more than that. I choose not to go there. So,
but no, NXT is doing great right now. I for anyone that's complaining about NXT, Ruby, for being a little colorful still. No, NXT's killing it. We're having great stuff. I am pumped. I don't care what the internet says. Everybody's so mad. They're like, it's so weird that Wesley was in the middle of a feud and then they just put Dom as the champ. Man, shut up. Listen and watch. Just watch. It's going to be good.
You got to put the element of surprise somewhere, and you also have to kind of shake things up a little bit if things are getting a little stagnant, or if you need something to help jump your ratings to try to crossbreed your ratings for all your shows. And this has got to be it. Now, I mean, that's one of the things, but like I said, when you're talking about Carmelo, I mean, my goodness. But let the Judgment Day have their tiffs. Let the bloodline go away for a while. Let's let the Hurt Business come back up for him with 5 members of the Hurt Business, maybe possibly 6.
There has to be it has to end with MVP and Omos. I still have hopes for my big man coming through. I'm tired of people trashing him. We need another giant that's worth like the homage of the giant. When you think giants, 100% giants, Andre comes to mind as just being this towering behemoth that took no wills, right? And he wasn't always the best in the ring at it, but he sold his part, right? The Giant, right, or Big Show, or Paul, whoever you want to go by, the same. Like he got, did he get to the point where he became like the lovable giant and like we kind of liked his comedy role and stuff? I 100% did. I think the Big Show is one of the most underrated comedy wrestlers, comedy people, period. Dude's funny. Let him be funny. Let him be the giant that he is. And we got that role. Like, so many. Omos could join that list. I'm telling you. And I'm going to even put Khali in there. I miss Khali. I said it.
I don't think Khali's ever coming back, though.
Oh, no. He's a made man.
Oh, yeah.
And my wife over here.
He's done his time. He's not coming back, though. So, yeah.
She hardly watches. She can't say that.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you watch the NXT issue, I mean, you've got to. I mean, like some of these major brands, NXT is still have a lot. They still got a long way to get where they need to be. The white and gold's trying to be as prominent as the black and gold, and they still got a lot to do. So,
I think they can do it.
I have the question on it though too. Are they sending them down to try to work with more of the people to get them faster ready for main brand, or was down there because
why do we keep worrying about they going down? There's so many times wrestlers have gone down, came up, gone down, came up, and did bigger and better things. Why are so people worried about if like they are getting? It's not a demotion. They're still within the same company. They're still making the money. Like they're helping their brethren because that's what wrestling's supposed to be, is like a united group. Like we've talked about this other. That's what we're seeing. Yeah, you're gonna have to boost it. I know you're not. I'm throwing that out there because that's what the internet's been knocking.
Why do you pay attention to the internet? It's not always right.
Because I want to be one of the voices of reason in professional wrestling when it comes to the breakdown of all this.
You're barking up a really long.
I don't care. Call me the newbie. Call me whatever. I'm the fan that's learning from both sides, man. So no, we need to stop whining and complaining about these guys that have gone up, gone down, come and watch the development that can happen when that happens. Drew McIntyre got booted out of the company, came back as one of the best things. Now he's going to have one of the greatest matches we can ever see with Gunther here coming up. Like, it's how it works, the cycles. Like, it's a good thing. And Dom going down and winning the tag team, not the North American title, is cool because I didn't even think it was going to happen, and I'm a fan. So, like, I'm ready for the roller coaster. Whatever you're going to throw at me, and let's do it.
Yep. You can't always be predictable, man. You just can't. Which kind of tails into our next one because we don't know what's going to come out of this. But right after last episode of SmackDown, tribal combat has been initiated. So, Jay is not only going after the undisputed Universal Championship, but now the head of the tribe is at stake now. So, people have questioned why Solo was stopped by Roman at the end of that whole when they walked away. Well, from what I understood is that tribal combat, no one interferes pretty much until the actual fight happens, which means Solo can interfere. But it doesn't mean that Jey Uso can't kick him right in the face to get him out. But
let's see. What's the thing? Also prevent somebody else coming in, like Umaga's son, who's wrestling elsewhere, could be a surprise brought in for that though too, or Rikishi himself helping.
Well, we're just talking before it actually happens at SummerSlam. I'm
talking about before. At SummerSlam, seeing that happen.
Oh, okay. Well, I was talking about before.
I mean, there's been small rumors that Rikishi, well, not small rumors, Rikishi has posted that maybe it's his time to get involved with the bloodline kind of thing. So there is that door opened, I guess. But I don't know. I'm telling you, I think Jay's getting the title. It's almost feels time. It almost feels right. And I believe with Solo doing this, we could potentially be seeing Jay's first title defense. If he does happen to win, it'd be against Solo. Like how they're going to bridge that gap. Like Solo feels that Jay went against the wishes of the High Council and kind of skipped the line, even though he was who knows? It can go in either way, but I think we're about to see a barn burner of a match.
Besides Rikishi, SummerSlam is basically, they're saying the summer WrestleMania, right? We didn't have somebody at WrestleMania this year, but who's to say that a higher person on the food chain in the bloodline would come in and be in The Rock?
I don't see The Rock coming in, but then
I'd rather up for a match like Royal Rumble between Roman and The Rock.
I mean, that's potential. That
yeah.
Never say never, but at this point, like, I feel like that Roman versus Rock match is kind of sailed for right now.
Oh yeah, I mean,
like it's not it has no like relevance in the question anymore. Now, like, let's say if Roman takes a break after all of this, once he drops the title and makes his dip foot into the world of maybe movies, and then they start doing like some, I don't know, beef on the set kind of thing, like Roman, and then we work that way. Maybe I could see something like that, but I actually don't have a say in that one.
Well, let's look at this.
That's a good question there, or statement.
What if Damian Priest would cash in at any point at that or toward the end of that main event at SummerSlam? So I don't know. I don't know if it really would necessarily take away from the story per se. I mean,
I think what it would do is it would give Roman a clean slate.
Bro, actually,
he lost the tribal thief. He lost the title.
If Finn won, hold on.
I know.
Hold on. If Finn somehow beats Seth for the world title, and then Damian Priest cashes in for the other title, and Judgment Day is just stacked with belts, single belts, bro, what better way to piss off the whole wrestling community than just be like, F you all. Right. We're going this way.
Although remember, I did call the fact that Priest winning the belt or winning the Money in the Bank case.
You did call that.
And they're showing dissension with him and Finn at times. So,
well, that's where I'm like, the actual thought on my brain, cashing in makes no sense because we just started this potential rift scenario, right? So I don't want to see that per se, like Damian Priest going over there, because somehow I want to see Finn actually win the title and then Damian Priest, and then that's the final of Judgment Day.
And that will be the thing. We'll see. You can't have this happen and still have Roman keep any belts and everything. Roman needs to start clean now. Clean slate, go fight back up again, maybe going as a face, dropping Paul
No.
Heyman because he couldn't help. Roman needs to go to a face now.
Heel Roman, like if Roman goes after all this is said and done into more of like a Brock Lesnar standpoint and just starts like every once in a while come back and just annihilating a person for no reason, that's where he needs to go. I think he needs to take on that monster heel that like, hey, I just do what I want to do character.
He can do that as a monster.
I don't want to see him as a face again.
Not even a face.
No.
Austin was never a heel or a face at the time.
Yeah.
He was going wild. I mean,
you're right, but no.
He can do that. He's not necessarily a face or a heel. He's just trying to regain his...
I'm not even a Roman fan, so I can care less.
He's trying to get the train going again, is what I'm saying. So that would help him to keep it going and everything and build all the way up to the top.
I've been saying from almost day one, Jey Uso takes the belts. So that's where my pick still goes. That's where I'm still going with it. I'm firmly behind Jey Uso's main event.
I say he gets it and drops it to Damian.
Shut up.
Come on.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen.
I mean, there's still a lot. I mean,
He'll have it for 5 seconds. I mean, you get that one picture on the internet, hey, holding the belt, then he loses it.
There's still a lot to be had. I mean, SummerSlam is under 2 weeks away from now. I think like 13 days. You never know what's going to happen. But you know, but that's really what wrestling should be anyway. And SummerSlam, in my opinion, is the second highest rated pay-per-view in the year for WWE. So
yeah,
this is right underneath WrestleMania. It's at Ford Field. It's at a large capacity venue. You would think they're pulling out stops or surprises here, like last year.
Yeah, that's why I said like both.
I don't remember what happened last year, to be honest with you.
Becky Lynch coming back. What was the last year? Becky Lynch came back.
What was that? Becky Lynch coming back? Maybe you're right.
Oh no, that was probably the year before.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
It's hard to keep track of dates.
when Brock got in with the combine and lifted the whole freaking ring.
Dude,
up.
that was awesome.
Dude, I about rolled over. I was laughing so hard.
Now, do we see the potential of restarting somebody else coming back though too? And I think probably 5 more months that Alexa can come back. Who's to say that they're not going to start rebuilding up Bray again?
Man, dude, that is a whole can of worms. I'm not going to stick my finger in right now because
you stick your finger in worms a lot.
He wants to buy his DLC for the game that drops here soon.
I still need to get that game probably next month, hopefully.
Hold on, guys. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's just a lot to kind of digest right now with the whole Wyatt family and everything else. I think Bray needs to go back to his roots with that Wyatt gimmick. So
I mean, that's what Taker said.
Taker
I literally said
so
in a promo, or not a promo, but a interview.
I'm torn on that. I think not that one, but not his recent one. I still think going back to Bray/Fiend.
F it. Go all the way back to Husky Harris.
Screw that.
No. That's
No.
Hey, dude.
No.
He was a what was it? Something tank. What's the tank they used to call him with a Lamborghini engine?
Oh Lord.
That was his moniker, dude. Dude, Husky Harris was the shit.
Yeah.
Just like
he won't even sign that anywhere. So
I know he won't. I know he won't. But like, I actually liked Husky Harris. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Him and Curtis Axel.
Okay, I'll give you Curtis Axel. I'll give you that one.
That's how. I mean, that's when the new Nexus and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
but Curtis Axel is a lot better than Michael McGillicuddy. So.
All right.
I forgot about that one, but yeah.
Everybody did. Trust me. He tries to forget it.
Shoot.
I don't know. Hey, real quick.
Yes.
So the wife and I were at Walmart, and look at this amazing fig. Yes.
Bring him up. Bring him.
Is that Stunning Steve?
Stunning Steve
TV
Austin?
title?
Yes, baby.
Hey, make him bigger for a second so I can see it. Not you.
Make me bigger. Oh.
Oh wow, that is.
Dude,
Is that
the mold,
is that
the
US
face mold.
title?
That's the TV title, bro.
TV. Sorry,
Come on.
sorry, but the WCW TV title.
Yeah. The mold's kind of whack, but I would have taken.
I mean, it's hard to use the Stone Cold mold to throw a wig on it in the creating. So
That's my issue. Is like they could have used the Stone Cold. It almost looks like you used the Billy Gunn. Not gonna lie.
Probably
but no.
cheaper for the mold, actually.
I love it. It's pimp. And then Amy got a Finn Balor, really cool demon Finn Balor.
What do they have? Do they have any listed on the back of any of the figures? Or
They have a sick Andre the Giant one that if I can find it, I'm getting that. Look at that. Andre the Giant, that figure was actually pretty awesome. The Ray's kind of cool too.
Is he holding 2 belts?
No, he's holding the one belt.
Okay, it looked like 2.
Yeah.
But it's not your fault. It's just the quality.
And then I really could care less about the other 4. I think all 4 of those
put out some more Undertaker and Paul Bearer stuff.
All 4 of those people have way too many figurines. So, and like Ray has too many just because he has 97,000 masks and attire.
Did you see the one of the? Oh, sorry, I need to look at the camera now. Did you see the one of the WWE's Lost Treasures, and him going through all of his costumes like it was a closet warehouse almost?
Right? Yeah. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I mean, the only Rey Mysterio that I'm looking for is I want an inbox is the Halloween Havoc one that Seth recreated. That's the full bodysuit.
Yeah.
That fig I'm looking for.
Are we about ready to look at the ceiling for somebody? It looks like almost.
Husky Harris was good.
Almost.
Husky Harris was not good.
Yes, the name was stupid.
That's why he's a pig action figure with the Fiend.
I'm saying I liked Husky Harris, the character. Yes, the name was terrible, but I dug the character.
Are we done with the technical glitches?
Yes, we still are. Yeah, so I'm just trying to make sure that Jason Simmons is in here. Yeah, we're going to be getting here with our guest here. We're still dealing with technical glitches here. I'll tell you what.
Techno kid glitches is what it is.
What?
While we're doing that, we do still have our upcoming shows we have to play here. It's going to be about 3.5 minutes long. Please hang in here with this, guys. There's a lot of shows happening here within this next month. But stay tuned to see what's coming in your direction. And we will be right back.
Check out these great shows and appearances coming to a city near you. Friday, July 28th, St. Louis Anarchy returns to the House of Anarchy located in Alton, Illinois at 405 East 4th Street as they present Circus Maximus 18. One of the featured matches is Gateway Heritage Champion Derek Neal defending his title against Jeremy Wyatt. Pre-event party starts at 6 p.m. with the main show starting at 7 p.m. For tickets and more information, visit STLanarchy.com. Saturday, July 29th, IWA Productions presents Red, White, and Bruised at the IWA Event Center located at 521 Perkins Street in Mount Vernon, Illinois. All men's champions Sid Holland, Logan Ridge, and PYT are scheduled to be in action, and also featuring the return of CJ Shine. Front row tickets are $12. General admission is $7. Save $2 per ticket by purchasing in advance at the Ringside Buffet. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Be there! Saturday, July 29th, New Breed Wrestling returns to Sedalia, Missouri with a live TV taping show at the Liberty Park Convention Hall. All NBW champions Shai Lin, Astonishing Austin Militalo, and Dr. Ison are scheduled to be in action. VIP tickets are $25. General admission tickets are $13 with doors opening at 5 p.m. with a bell time of 6 p.m. Get your tickets in advance at Walter's Barbershop and follow New Breed Wrestling on all their social media outlets. Sunday, July 30th, Glory Pro Wrestling presents Animo at the Casa Loma Ballroom located at 3354 Iowa Street in St. Louis, Missouri. Doors open at 2 p.m. with a bell time of 3 p.m. Featured guest is the return of All Elite Wrestling star Ray Phoenix. For more information on the meet and greet session with Ray and tickets, visit gloryprowrestling.com. Saturday, August 12th, Mid-States Wrestling returns to the Relics Event Center in Springfield, Missouri. Doors open at 6 p.m. and bell time is at 7 p.m. Your main event features MSW Heavyweight Champion, the Smoking Ace Luke Langley defending the title against Sam Stackhouse. To reserve your seats for this event, visit MSWtickets.com or call 858-848-SLAM. Arkansas Wrestling Association presents Indie Mania on Saturday, August 12th, located at 600 North 10th Street in Blytheville, Arkansas, raising funds for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Special guests scheduled to appear are Downtown Bruno, Dangerous Doug Gilbert, and Wildfire Tommy Rich. Ticket prices for the show are front row reserve $25, ringside reserve $20, general admission $10. Doors open at 5 p.m. and bell time is at 6 p.m. Don't miss this awesome event. World League Wrestling returns to the Harley Race Arena in Troy, Missouri as they present Summer Sizzler on Saturday, August 12th. Scheduled to appear on the card is Brandon Espinoza, Moses, Tootie Lynn Ramsey, and many more. Doors open at 6 p.m. and bell time is at 7 p.m. Advanced ticket pricing is $20 for adults. Kids 5 and under are $5. To purchase your tickets in advance, call 573-392-4100 or visit harleyrace.com. Saturday, August 12th, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling returns to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds as they welcome special guest WWE Hall of Famer Tito Santana. Your main event of the evening pits the newly reacquired SICW Tag Team Champions, the LA Hustlers, with Lucky B. Larson in their corner defending the titles against the current SICW Classic Champion, the Big Texan, and the 2023 Bruiser Brody Battle Royal Memorial Cup winner, Bobby D. Doors open at 6 p.m. with a bell time of 7 p.m. Reserve your seats for this awesome show by going to SICW.org or by calling 618-286-4848. Remember, fans, without you in the seats, there is no wrestling. Make sure you make plans to attend these shows, and we'll see you at ringside.
All right. Thanks a lot, Devin. Appreciate it. Your check's in the mail. Okay. So.
I love it, dude.
All right. So we're going to get on with the show here as best as we can. But once again, our main topic here tonight is reviewing the National Wrestling Hall of Fame entire induction weekend up at the Dan Gable Museum in Waterloo, Iowa. We've had several people that we know that have went there. But one person is joining us here this evening to go over thoughts, photos, and everything else, and all the happenings that have happened here since last Thursday, all the way to the end of last night's banquet and induction ceremony. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome from the Wrestle Talk Podcast, I give to you Mr. Luke Roberts. All right. Luke, how you doing, man?
Bring up the other one.
The other one? There's another one? Oh, wait, here we go.
Second here. All right, can you hear me now?
There we go.
Can you hear me now, gentlemen?
Yes.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the king of the bed moonsault. The king of the stealing promo.
Hey, that was Freddie Jacobs. Thank you very much.
You did it too, and I know you know it. And the foil of Billy Bob.
GQ, I'm going to tell you right now, how long have you known me to realize that I can't hardly throw a moonsault?
You can't really do a promo either, so.
Well, thanks a lot there, GQ. Next thing you're going to tell me is that milk is not a food group.
I mean,
Damn.
Shut up, Z. Shut up. Get down, Pepper.
That's funny.
I don't care what Cody.
Right now, as we say here, it's always an honor and a privilege to be on Falls Count Everywhere. And tonight we're going to be talking about the Hall of Fame. And it's really cool that I come on the air and my good friend Herb Simmons pops in, wishing everybody good evening. I had an opportunity to spend time with Herb Simmons. A lot of the SICW personalities were available. I know that Attila Khan was in ring action against Wes Briscoe, among others. We're going to talk a lot professional wrestling right here tonight on Falls Count Everywhere. And guys, I got to tell you, as you can tell, I'm not in the normal Luke Roberts office. I'm still trying to get everything set up from a great week of professional wrestling in Waterloo, Iowa.
Oh man. I mean, from all of the photos from everybody else that was down there and all the photo opportunities they had, and then with all the exhibits, I mean, it's just the wrestling, the wrestling lover in me. I will say the wrestling lover in me, just like, wow, gosh, I wish I was down there. Only reason I wasn't was because me and my wife celebrated our 10th year wedding anniversary passed on to this Thursday, and I'm not going to go a ditch for wrestling on our anniversary, but I think I'm
You're a wise man, Ruby.
I may have to sweet talk the wife for maybe 2 trips next year, one of our own, and then one, if it's on our anniversary again next year, we have to go down there. So I was like, just come along, hon. That's fine, you know.
Well, you know something, Ruby? I'm going to throw this at you here real quick. the idea that you know very well that you've got a lot of people that you know that have been in the professional wrestling industry. Why don't you not only recognize all the contributions you've made, but why don't you let those others come with you and make it a true family experience, just like I had this past week?
Oh yeah, that's right. We're going to get into that absolutely. In fact, how about we kind of put this weekend in pictures here, and hopefully we're going to kind of get through this here. So I guess this here is this the official program, or what is this here?
That actually was the program from last night's induction. We're going to have a lot of photos of the induction. There were a lot of great people there. I think they said that they had a record attendance at the Waterloo Convention Center. I believe it was somewhere in the neighborhood of about, I think it was 140 roughly. Oh, wow. And it was a great night that was had by one and all. And again, as we look at some of the pictures, some of the people we knew were going to be there. Some of them were last minute surprises.
Yeah. Now this here, of course, is inside the what the honorees are, and then of course, once we go through these here, for those, we're going to redefine what each award is. As far as with Tom Burkin, the Jim Mulby Award, and with Boris Malenko with the Trainer Award. I mean, Haku getting the Frank Gotch Award this year. So just of course, feature with Les Thatcher, of course, Bill DeMott, Conrad Thompson, of course, from Ring of Honor and AEW work there. And then, of course, with Gary Albright with the Hall of Fame honoree, Rock Riddle. And we're going to get a little more into that. So, and of course, there's the back in the prime of where these guys were on. So I get, well, most of them anyway. I mean, I don't know if Tom Rick was getting into the business late, but no, and then of course here's the official poster with everybody planning to be attending there. Here a couple questions. Here's one thing I had to ask here, Luke. Did we see Marty Jannetty this weekend or no?
From my understanding, there were several that didn't attend. Marty Jannetty, I did not see him. I heard he wasn't going to be available. I know that J.J. Dillon and Demolition Smash were both not there. They had to take care of medical procedures that had been rescheduled. Right. Also want to give a shout out to longtime member, and I believe one of the chief executives of the National Pro Wrestling Hall of Fame, Jerry Briscoe. He had some health issues during the event, but he managed to be back at the induction ceremony and gave a great wrap-up speech, if you will. But like I said, most of the people you see here on these posters, I mean, again, you look at it, Joe Malenko, Wes Briscoe, Colt Boom Boom Cabana, who did an Art of Wrestling podcast there. John Nord was there. Devon Dudley was there. And you know what else, too? When you look at it, a couple others I would be remiss if I didn't mention. Thunderbolt Patterson, for those that don't know the lineage of professional wrestling, a very outspoken and respected member of the professional wrestling community. And just so we don't get in trouble, I know he's going to be listening here tonight. Mr. Wonderful himself, the original Mr. Wonderful, Rock Riddle, was in the house. We're going to talk about him in just a little bit, but I want to share something with you. A little bit of outside here, Ruby. And of course, Mr. Gem City and that GQ guy. Right here in my hand, as you can see, I went to the Cauliflower Alley Club in September and had the opportunity to have Rock Riddle personally autograph this for me.
That's sick.
Nice.
And again, it was a great experience. A man that can rock the sunglasses indoors or outdoors, you name it. The wonderful Rock Riddle was a part of it. And I'm going to tell you right now, GQ, Rock Riddle is a man who can captivate. And simply put, you go on and on and on, and we don't know if necessarily at times there's a point, just like me. But in reality, Rock Riddle had everybody on the edge of their seats for, I think it was like 20 minutes. And you would have just literally just thought it was going.
No, there's no doubt of that. I know how great Rock Riddle is. I've seen him at the Cauliflower as well. I never got a chance to talk with him there. But I know from just looking at stuff online and everything that how great he is. Would love to have him on the show one time here.
You know something? He is in high demand. He's all around the world, and he rocks the suit. That was, I mean, his suit, all white suit. I know I couldn't pull it off. Maybe Rick Rude could eventually pull it off, but again, when it comes down to it, Rock Riddle was among many great honorees that were at this weekend's event.
If it's a little coat, I'm not pulling it off, so it's okay. if we're going with that. Oh,
It's funny that this show's so great that Pepper's even watching.
oh my
Sweet.
goodness. The cat watches TV. Oh my. Takes after her dad.
Yep.
So kind of explain, because you put this photo in with the this ain't the actual museum, is it? Or is this
This is actually a piece of wrestling history, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Rusty Rex out in Kansas for this one. This is the hotel president in Waterloo, Iowa. Now, a lot of the viewers of the Wrestle Talk Podcast, Roundabout Sports, Interstate 70 Sports Media, the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, a lot of those great podcasts here in the Midwest are going to be like, why is the hotel president so important? This was where many, many years ago, almost 75 as a matter of fact, where the National Wrestling Alliance was created.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, that's
And this was where they officially announced Orville Brown as the first heavyweight champion of the National Wrestling Alliance right here in this building.
Wow, that's crazy.
That is crazy. It's a big piece of history right there when it comes to professional wrestling. Absolutely.
Very true. Very true, Ruby. Very true.
That's why it's like I knew there's a meaning behind this, and I'm sorry I did not know. And I'm sure probably if I would have took a closer look at the building, I probably could have done my research, but I didn't. But but I just rather you provide the story.
Is that hotel still active at all, or?
To be honest with you, I believe it actually still has businesses in it. I don't know if it's actually a hotel. Maybe we need to get our good friend Rusty Rex, who I got a chance to meet in person at the banquet. Maybe we need to get Rusty Rex to talk a little bit about that, because he spent a pretty good amount of time going to it. I was supposed to try to go with him, but schedules just didn't come together.
There you go. All right. So there we go. Speaking of the Wrestle Talk podcast, these are the four that went, right? There's you, and then of course there's DJ Big Sexy next to you, Chris Rodell, Jay Wade in the front left, and in the front right, of course, is Jeremy Carp.
And this was actually at the IPW event on Friday evening. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you've not been to an Impact Pro Wrestling show in Iowa, you need to go. It was a great night of pro wrestling action from top to bottom. They had tag team matchups. I actually saw my first tag team championship match contested under 6-man tag team rules.
Wow.
What?
I saw that. I saw a great women's 3-way matchup. I saw the Battle of Waterloo. Saw a war between Wes Briscoe and Attila Khan. Saw the IPW heavyweight champion compete in a lumberjack match. And saw Captain Guthrie, for those that are familiar. He kind of paid the price at one of the masters of the Iron Claw, Baron von Raschke, who was in the house.
Nice. Excellent. Let me see what I got next here. Okay, so I kind of combined these three placed together. Now, were these like placed that were on the ground around the museum, or were they actually in a case with these?
These actually were right outside the front door of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa. And it really kind of stuck with me because, again, when you talk about Frank Gotch, you're talking about the very early days of professional wrestling. You move to the idea of Lou Thesz, a man who competed for 7 decades. I know we've talked countless times about the matchup with Masachono back, I believe it was in the early 90s. Dan Gable not only is an accomplished amateur wrestler, it says your Olympic champ, world champ, coaching legend. He was actually in attendance at the Hall of Fame.
Nice. Very good. Very good. That's awesome.
Up until when Lou passed away, though, too, he was there almost every year as well.
That is true, GQ. He is constantly there. And some of the other pictures we're going to hopefully see later on show us some of the true lineage of professional wrestling. I know that there was a man that GQ, you and I have had the opportunity to be in the ring with the legendary Harley Race, handsome Harley Race, and they actually had in the pro wrestling portion of the Hall of Fame a bronzed copy of his boot on display.
Sick.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
that's
may
dope.
even get to that. I think there may be somewhere in this mix, but there's the National Wrestling Hall of Fame, the Dan Gable Museum. So I mean, that's just only the front entryway, but I just only can imagine what's inside, and it's I mean, there's
Well,
gonna be there's gonna be a lot of things that you guys are gonna be very very kind of be like wow. And then
well,
of
like I said,
course
as you look at these pictures here, gentlemen, this is, I mean, it took my breath away. And you guys have known me for the better part of 25 plus years. I don't get awestruck too easily. But walking in here and seeing some of the things that were in this establishment, it was really a great experience. Matter of fact, let me go ahead here. More on our field trip right here in my hand, if I can actually show it to the viewers of the Wrestle Talk or to the Wrestle Talk podcast and all the other podcasts, including the Falls Count Everywhere, representing the Dan Gable Museum. They have a lot of great merchandise there. And true story, they have stuff about amateur wrestling at the Dan Gable, but I managed to pick up, hold on, let me make sure I grab the right book here. Right here, the crown jewel, the history of the NWA World Championship from 59 to 73. You can purchase this at the Hall of Fame. It's a combination of both, but you got a lot of great things there, and you can get things from Dan Gable as well.
very nice.
Dan Gable has trading cards out there too, by the way, just saying.
Yep.
Yeah, that
and there are some great ones out there, GQ. Almost bought one. They have some of the more traditional, old school, classic wrestlers. They had one that really interested me of Stanislaus Sabisco. If that tells you how long or how far back they were able to go. A lot of great history tradition at the National Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa.
Man, yeah, definitely that book is a definitely a talking point of interest with me. So he sold me on that. Let's see. Oh, there you are. So kind of let us know here on this small Hall of Fame ring that the jackets that are kind of that you're standing behind here.
Well, the jackets that we have here are from a variety of different wrestlers that are there, and I'm not going to fib to the viewers of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. You can tell the one over my left shoulder is actually from a tour of New Japan Pro Wrestling. I believe it was back in the 70s. The jacket to my right, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm drawing a blank. I said so much stuff that was there, but you see that sleeve right there all the way on the far right side of the picture.
The leopard pattern one, it looks like?
Yeah, right next to the Hall of Fame on the right. The jacket, from my understanding, if I'm not mistaken, that was a jacket from Larry the Axe Hennig.
Wow.
That'd be sick.
Well, we might get a better shot of that.
There you go, right there.
There you go. Holy cow! Yeah, I can see that.
That's him.
Yeah, and that's one of those where that's just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Hall of Fame. If you haven't been there, and I know there's been a lot of great viewers here, the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, Jason Simmons, Tyler Cooley, a lot of great fans. If you haven't been there, you are missing out.
I was going to say, up until when he passed, though, too, Larry Hennig was there every year as well, too. That's how good this Hall of Fame is. A lot of people show up here more than they did, like they do for Cauliflower.
You know, one thing, GQ, and I really, when I was talking to Chris Rodell, I was talking to Justin Wade and talking to Jeremy Carp to try to convince them to go. I was always told that not only was it a historical journey, but the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa, is very similar to the Cauliflower Alley Club, but it's very much more intimate. You get the opportunity, I mean, again, you get to meet a lot of great wrestling personalities in Las Vegas, but you get an opportunity. I mean, I was sitting there, and less than 2 rows from me were wrestlers like JBL, Tony Gurria, Les Thatcher, Bill DeMott. I mean, I could go on and on. There were so many great personalities. And, I mean, you can shake the person's hand. They're that close. it really was. I mean, I've been around wrestling now 35 plus years, and this is probably right up there at the top of one of the greatest experiences ever.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like I said, I just got chills just looking at all the photos that you guys were posting this week, and I'm like, damn. I don't know. If I had $1 for every time I said damn, I don't think I would have to work this week. But you know,
hey, you might want to change that so you don't get nailed for copyright from a certain entertainment
Right.
company.
Well, I don't say it a certain way either way, but you know, I mean, I'm trying not to.
That is true. You know, one thing I got to say, Ruby, I really am surprised that with, like I say, with JBL and whatnot, I'm really surprised that we haven't seen, and again, it's not out of the realm of possibility with the 25th anniversary coming up next year of seeing a Ron Simmons there, because there's just a lot of great things. And again, when you sit there and you look at the names that have been enshrined in the Hall of Fame, and I know that you got a chance to see them. I mean, the names are pretty much a who's who of professional wrestling.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? We may see Ron up there 1 year open Waterloo. That would be pretty cool. Now,
Two words: road trip.
Yes, road trip. Now this here, so this is the Warriors sculpture.
I believe that you are correct. That's right in the middle of the Hall of Fame. And there's another one which we're going to see later on. I hopefully will be able to see. Reminds me of the one that you would see in the Open for the old NWA TNA. I also believe it's very similar to the statue that you would see in Jeff Jarrett's office. But again, that's one of the things that they don't just focus on pro wrestling, they focus on amateur wrestling as well. Right. And this right here is a focal point of the National Wrestling Hall of Fame in Iowa.
Yeah. You always got to go to your roots, especially when it comes to amateur, which bleeds into professional. And this what makes, you know, this Hall of Fame very unique in the way it combines both styles with amateur and professional to that, and how it's reflected and how it's treasured for all who attend and actually go through this, and they're just in awe but with everything they feast their eyes upon with all the exhibits. So I mean, it's definitely something.
So much of all the amateur stuff is still within training for the pro stuff. So much of it.
Right.
That's correct. Absolutely. 100%.
Like the double axe handle will do them. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
This was actually on display. This is the Hall of Fame award from Gordon Soley. I believe it was 95 as he received this. And I will tell you right now, I had an opportunity to meet with his son, Gerard Soley, who was at the Hall of Fame. He was selling some DVDs of classic Gordon Soley footage and a lot of other things. Having the opportunity to speak with him. I mean, again, that's about as close to the dean of wrestling announcers as you can get right there. And look at what it's right next to. A jacket from Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yep. Now that's pretty cool.
Could be a small slap in the face too. You might think so. Just say it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Well, I mean, heck, we might be seeing a little bit more of Bret here in a little bit. Now,
yes.
This right here is a award presented from Sam at the time, 2 champs of wrestling from Florida. So,
yeah, when you sit here and you look at it, I mean, again, Sam Muchnick for years had a very strong foothold in the National Wrestling Alliance. And when you talk about professional wrestling, there are several territories, if you will, that were highly recognized. You had places like Capital Sports, which became the WWF, WWE. You had the Mid-Atlantic territory. You had Texas. You had the Tampa area in Florida. You had San Francisco. You had Minneapolis. You had the St. Louis, Kansas City area. You had Portland. But to have something recognizing your promotion from the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, you can't say anything but your promotion is one of the best on the planet.
Now that was Graham's group, correct?
Well, go ahead, GQ.
That was Graham's group, wasn't it?
Yes, Eddie Graham's group, correct.
Yes. And speaking of which, that's pretty cool too, with the Gordon Sully jacket right behind
That's
it
sick.
too. I mean,
And
'cause-
that's the thing when you're there, guys, is you see so much stuff, so many unique things. And I know we're going to see other pictures of it, but if you turned around, and I think we're going to have the picture a little bit later, the three things, if you made a complete 180-degree turn from this picture, were the ring robe of former, I believe, 5-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, a set of ring-used AWA World Tag Team Championships,
and
the original, and as we see here, this is the boot that I was talking about, the bronze boot of Harley Race.
That's sick.
Also, if you make about a 90-degree turn, they actually had the World Heavyweight Championship of Thesz.
wow.
That was the
Like the
older
actual
one that
one.
had the picture that you could change the picture on, correct?
On the center plate, I do believe, but this is the one where literally, this was so early on, it didn't even have leather. It was just the plates
Yep.
that were put together.
Oh, damn.
They were
Right.
like little chain links. I know it's leathered by today's standards, but it looks a lot like the old Classic Wrestling Championship of SICW or All Japan Pro Wrestling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is a Harley Race bronze boot, and this is pretty cool.
Now,
So
did
I'm-
they have
Yeah,
anything
that's-
for Bobby Heenan
I would put that
or
in my
Paul
house.
Bearer?
You know, one thing they talked about at the event, GQ, we were talking, I had an opportunity to sit in at the Podcasters Collective. They were talking about, one of the questions was, who do you wish would have a podcast? And everybody that was there did not hesitate. And they said they wish, and they might have considered themselves self-centered, what it would have been like if Bobby Heenan would have been able to have a podcast.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh my god.
It would have been number
dude.
one everywhere.
Exactly. And again, it would have been number one for years and years and years because he was
That's my
that
hero.
good.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
I know that's all, like, anyone that runs their mouth in wrestling, a fraction of the thing is just a Bobby Heenan fan.
That is true.
That is
that's
my
why
theory.
managerial stuff and everything and whatnot needs to still keep going. I mean,
Dude, he was one of the
nobody
best.
knows how to use it anymore. Luke knows that.
Mhm. The gift of gab is a great thing, and here it is. Right here, they have the AWA World Tag Team titles. If I'm not mistaken, that was a NWA belt buckle
It looks
that
like
was given to Thesz, and then right there in front is Thesz's World Heavyweight Championship, where we know today with heavyweight championships pales in comparison. And I was sitting there, and I actually had to have my broadcast colleague Jeremy Karp. I had to pull him back over because, like, oh, that's cool. And he looked at it, but he didn't realize that if you look at those side plates, all of the jewel work, all of the rubies and the topazes, all of them are still there.
And that's why a lot of times with the belts that you had to put a deposit down as soon as you won it.
That's true.
Wow. I mean, that is something else. I
Because
mean,
nowadays,
that-
you know, somebody's going to pawn that stuff if they had it in their own collection. I mean, so no, I'm serious because nowadays you have so many, like, just with the belts in general, and they're not it's valuable because there's so many, like, replicas and everything out there.
That is also true, GQ. You're talking 100% here on the Falls Count Everywhere podcast.
Thank you for getting the show name right. Just saying.
Hey, I've been
He's
busy,
on the
man. I
right-
mean, there's been so many different programs, and we're going to talk a little more about the Podcaster Collective in a little bit, too. That's one thing that if you haven't had an opportunity and you go to the Hall of Fame, you need to go to. They had a lot of great shows there, and there's a lot of information that the Falls Count Everywhere and I are going to be talking about as we go. It was definitely worth it. And again, who knows? Maybe GQ can finally make it to the Hall of Fame, and we'll give him his own special spot in the parking lot for the broadcast. I kid. GQ. You would have had a blast, and you would have been very, very good at being a part of the collective.
Oh my god, that is too funny. That is too funny. Wow. Let's see. Now here's the row that you were talking about with Scrap Iron, Adam Pearce.
That's sick.
Yeah, that is, and I think I think I saw one. I don't know when did he step away from the ring? Like 2014, I think. I'm trying to think when he did.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right to make his movement on to the WWE Performance Center. And also,
It was still a couple
it
years.
was ironic, too,
did that,
talking
though.
about Colt Cabana was talking about his matches with Adam Pearce as well.
Colt's a good dude. I like Colt.
Yeah.
I met him once.
I got to tell you, watching him in ring is always a blast. And he was there at the IPW event, going out there. And actually, during the main event, which was a lumberjack match, and the ring filled up with wrestlers, he hit an elbow on everybody. I think it was like he threw like 27 elbows in the span of about 45 seconds.
Man.
Adam Pearce, though, is one of my favorite on-screen characters of this era. Like, for WWE, that is.
But
He's a
his
diplomat.
in-ring work was something else to behold, though.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
I got a chance to see him in action when he came around here in Glen Carbon, Illinois. I think like in 2012. I mean, I think with Dynamo, I believe, brought him in, and when he still had the 10 pounds of gold. And man, you talk about the guy who knew how to work. I mean, he was phenomenal in the ring.
Well, you know, Ruby, one thing, and I'm going to say this, even though I joke with GQ, knowing full well that a lot of people would say our first wrestling licenses were made out of stone, we had the opportunity to see Adam Pearce from a very early age in his career. And GQ, I think you would agree with me that even back in the very early days, you knew that Adam Pearce was destined for greatness.
Well, there was 3 of them that we knew that came in with us with NVWA, and that was Adam Pearce, Derek Stone, and Ace Steel. I mean, Derek not so much. I mean, but Ace definitely did. It was even amazing when you look at it. As like Ace appeared as a producer on one show while Adam was a producer on another show at the same time.
Very true. And you know what? Another name that was bounced around a lot was Carmine Despirito, and I didn't get an opportunity, but that's another name I would love to be able to have on the program. And I know that the Falls Count Everywhere podcast has brought that name up a time or two about coming on the program as well.
Yep.
Yes, we have. Now, these are the jackets again. Let's see.
If you look to the immediate left, that's actually a t-shirt, airbrush t-shirt, and boots from the legendary Thunderbolt Patterson. If you look behind the red jacket, that is the mat of fame where members of the Hall of Fame and accomplished wrestlers sign. If you look in front of the jackets, that is an autographed 2x4 of Hacksaw Jim Duggan. And if you look all the way back behind the picture of Thunderbolt Patterson, you see a wrestling singlet. That singlet is of Gable Stevenson.
Oh, right over here. Okay. Right there.
Again, what more can you ask for there? There's so many different aspects of professional and amateur wrestling right there in the span of maybe a 20-foot area.
My goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
That's amazing. And there's a close-up of this picture that was in there with the wrestler. God, I'm trying to remember when that came out.
I'll be honest, Ruby, if you know, you're 3 steps ahead of me.
I know it was not the wrestler that we knew of that came out with Mickey Rourke in 08. So that's definitely a different one. But yeah, but it's kind of cool to see a vintage poster like this, though. And if we ever get a hold of the movie, we'll try. But look at this here. What this was from a ticket from obviously blown up from 1950 of All Star Wrestling at Wrigley Field. Wow.
And when you look at this, this is just the kind of things you're going to grow to expect when you get to the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. There were a lot of these. I know there's going to be plenty of pictures that are going to show these kinds of things, but being able to see these ideas, and I had an opportunity to see one. There was actually a painting of some of the earlier matches, even before this, at places like Wrigley Field. And it's just amazing to see where wrestling has gone from the past to 2023.
Okay, so pop quiz real quick. Everybody take a guess at what year the wrestler came out.
Which wrestler?
The original one, not the Mickey Rourke one.
I was gonna say like 1939, but I think
I was gonna say I'm just now learning there was an original one.
I'm going to go with, I'm kind of the same boat with Ruby. I was going to say probably, because that being a color poster, I was figuring maybe mid-50s.
1974.
I'm close.
Because you got to think, look at the age of Ed Asner. He wasn't that old back in the 30s, though.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Well, but they made that poster look really old then, because that's
probably one of the original ones.
Very well could be.
I know they made recreations of it, but because that was also Vern Gagne was in that one wrestling, and I think
right,
that Professor Toru Tanaka or whatever, wasn't that who the guy with the throwing hat was?
Well, let's see what we got here now. Let's look at this ring bell. You got a story behind this ring bell here, Mr. Robert?
Look at what we have. I mean, again, I'm just going to let the names who signed this bell stand for itself.
Oh, here, let me see.
Harley Race,
let me see.
Bob Geigel, Lou Thesz, Tom Andrews, Vern Gagne.
Dutch Mantel.
I mean, again, this is right there in itself is a who's who of professional wrestling.
Yeah, let's see. Dutch Mantel, Danny Hodge, Ole Anderson, Vern Gagne, Tom Andrews, Lou Thesz, Bob Geigel, Harley Race.
I was reading it first. I was like, Tom Anderson was like the guy from MySpace signed the bell.
Oh, will you stop?
Showing your age, Ruby. Showing your age.
Okay, I'm done with Ruby. Hold on. Don't just do that. For that one, he needs to sit out for a second.
What? Oh man,
that was bad. He was upset because even Tom wasn't his friend. So.
The jabs.
Oh man, this has only been a couple days ago, but it's bringing back so many great memories of the Hall of Fame here. And again, as I said, if you haven't been there, you need to go. I mean, the names that were there. I mean, it was a who's who of professional wrestling, and it was a great experience.
I think the wife and I might.
Ruby, let's go ahead and look at some more of these photos. I mean, a lot of these are. I mean, again, you look right here, Louis Thesz. Not even Lou Thesz, Louis Thesz.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm trying to even look because you don't have any dates or anything except for the actual Friday, June 24th, but no year.
Well, if you look at it too, GQ, look at the special guest referee.
That's Strangler Lewis.
I'm trying to look at the prices.
And look at the reservation. She had a 5-digit phone number back then.
Wasn't it? Oh, yeah. Okay, so shit. When did that start? That was that ended like late 70s, early 80s, didn't it?
Man, I want those ticket prices back. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, for a row for $4.
A row seat being $4.
Yeah, let's go.
Wow. Shoot. Now this is
classic wrestling robes of the day.
Now that painting's sick.
Is this a Jerry Briscoe?
Yeah.
Yes, that is Jerry Briscoe holding the NWA World Junior Championship, and that is a Schomburg painting. There were several of them there, and thank you, Herb, for bringing that out. Talking about Ed Strangler Lewis and Lou Thesz and talking about the lineage. And again, that's one of the great things too about the Hall of Fame, being able to sit with people like Herb Simmons, like Joyce Paustain, like Darla Staggs, like Barbara Goodish, Thunderbolt Patterson. Everything that's here are really, I mean, again, you get to get a true understanding of professional wrestling at the Hall.
Absolutely. And then the next one, this painting.
Again, you'd love to have this in your office, wouldn't you, Ruby?
I would. Like I love to have it in my office. I love to have it in the living room.
Ruby,
too.
are you able to zoom in at all on that?
I was gonna say that'd go right in the living room.
I can't make it any larger. I don't know. Can we make
right where the family photo is?
What about this? I don't think
bit larger.
No, that made it worse. I think because we're all in a photograph. I'm sorry.
It says something else. I'm looking to see what it says on that white thing there.
Yeah. Like I said,
let's see.
Why don't you just go next year and you can read it then?
Why doesn't he get in the car and go tomorrow?
There you go.
What car?
All right. Well, like I said, let's look at some more of these great photos here. And again, I want to give a shout out to a lot of great people. I mean, Rusty Rex, Jeremy Karp, Justin Wade, myself. Again, more ring ropes here as well. Thank you, Herb, for chiming in as well. As you look at it here, Jack Briscoe wearing the NWA World Championship. And actually, interesting side note before we move on to the next picture. If you see those plaques in the back, that's what they would used to put up for the wrestlers being inducted. They are now going to be going to yearly plaques, and they're going to be starting to go backwards into that to have more room to recognize the honorees. And like I said, those will probably, they said they're hoping that by the next year's Hall of Fame, that all of those will be gone and replaced with the yearly plaques. So if you get a chance and you can't go to the Hall of Fame for the ceremony next year, you need to get up there because the look's going to change dramatically in the coming months.
Yeah.
And again, this was one of the silent auction items that were available. There were a lot of cool things. This is I think it was a canvas reproduction of a picture of Jack and Jerry Briscoe. And I mean, again, you have things like that. You had an original poster from All In. You had an autographed classic Intercontinental Championship. You had ring-worn tights from Tim Storm when he won the NWA World Championship. You had a lot of books from John Cosper. You had, you name it, there were so many cool things that were available. And like I said, if they weren't that out there, here you go, another one. It's a classic poster. Look at some of the names here. San Martino, Monsoon, Dominic DiNucci, Killer Kowalski, Haystacks Calhoun, Johnny Rod, Spiros Aaron, Victor Rivera. I mean, Baron Michael Cicluna. Again, lots of great wrestling history that's available at the Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I wish we would have put years on these back in the day, but I guess they weren't thinking about that.
No kidding.
This is one that I wanted so badly. Autograph poster, or actually photo. Lou Thesz would be in this picture if he could. But you have Harley Race, Ric Flair, and the I believe that is actually Harley Race's 10 pounds of gold.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Again, lots of great things at the Hall of Fame.
Nice.
Another poster was available talking about the classics of the AWA. And actually, while you're at it, one of the things that you had, I want to share a couple things here with you. Bear with me just a minute. They had different books from some of the territory days. This one was from my good friend George Shire. Talks about the Minnesota professional wrestling scene.
Oh, wow.
A lot of AWA facts and information as well in here. And I also want to give a shout out to my good friend Joyce Paustain. Brand new book. And I'm going to have to retell right here, My Ringside Seat to the AWA. This has a lot of great stories about her time being a fan of the AWA. And if you want to purchase it, they were available for $20. I believe they're going to be available starting next week on Amazon for $25. And you know what, right here too, I mean, again, having the opportunity, let me see if I can get it here. Took the time to autograph every one of them. A great lady. Again, shout out to Jim, who was talking about the Hall of Fame as well. Again, from top to bottom, a great weekend.
Nice. And here's another good one. Oh, wow. This was also up for auction. This photo of Lou Thesz right here.
I believe that one was, but here's the crazy thing. Look at what he's wearing.
The belt.
That belt.
He's wearing the belt that was on display. If you want to talk about professional wrestling history, I rest my case.
There you go.
And if anybody, hold on, I gotta say, I know somebody that has a couple of copies, not like photocopies, but actual versions of that with signed, still available too. So,
oh, gotcha.
I'm jealous. Painting of Frank Gotch.
Wow.
Let's kind of
Yeah.
leave that
I
one.
think
as
that was
is.
on display, though.
It looks like the old
Well-known
tobacco
wrestling
cards that they used to do back in the day. I'm serious. I mean, they used to,
Yeah.
like baseball used to have tobacco cards that came with cigarettes and everything. It looks like something similar to that. I think some earlier wrestling ones actually did get made on that genre too.
Yep. They sure did. Here we go. So
We got lots of. I mean, we could just roll through these at
Yes.
length. And Ruby, if you just want to keep it up there, Gene Kiniski,
yeah,
Pat O'Connor,
that's nice.
Harley Race, the handsome one himself, 8-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, Bret Hart,
Yeah.
Dory Funk Sr.,
Wow.
Kurt Angle, the Olympic gold medalist. And for those that watched most WWE's Most Wanted Treasures, I did get to see the singlet that they were talking about that they had switched out. It is now back at the National Wrestling Hall of Fame.
I think they did it just for use it, like just for when they need to use it.
Right. Like I said, the Armageddon singlet is in the hall.
Oh, awesome.
Terry Funk.
There we go.
Happy belated birthday, by the way, for Terry. Dory Funk Jr. The Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair.
I don't know if you can see it up here, but I like number these. And it just happened to be on WO, and I just put extra O's on here. So, woo.
Oh, so I think we still got a couple more here to look at as well. The late Iron Sheik.
Shiki Pepe.
Yeah.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes.
If you will.
That was pretty good.
The King of Hearts, Owen Hart.
Yep. Definitely deserved to be in there.
Everybody's got a prize.
It's
If you look right here, this one's got a little bit of history here in the St. Louis area.
Holy crap. On a stick.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I go back to Mr. Jem talking about
from her.
What year?
Box seats for $4.50.
How in the world? Who was the champion back then? I mean, did they say or American
this one
champion
here-
Billy Schulber?
I'm hoping that one of our viewers would be there. But I mean, again, just seeing some of this history, and again, this thing is talking about this is St. Louis history. This is the thing that immediately registered with me is the idea that it was here in the St. Louis area.
Granted,
You know, they're arguing. We were saying that referees shouldn't be on posters. Look what they did back in the day.
I didn't say that.
Hold on. Plastinia in the past 9 years has met the best men in the world and has not lost one fall. Plastinia defeated Ed Strangler Lewis several years ago in Lexington, Kentucky. He's open to meet Lewis Orlando's for the title under the direction of this association. Winner take all gate money. Frank Gotch, our world's champion, retired with the title. Now let us crown a new heavyweight champion in St. Louis. Why go to other cities?
That's right. Why go to other cities?
Right.
Oh man,
I haven't looked because I had to increase it to full screen. But did anybody say anything yet on the year?
No.
Like I said, I mean, again, you look at all the great info, and I think the rest of a good chunk of these, Ruby, if you want to go ahead and we can just kind of roll through them. I mean, just some of the history. Look at this one right here. I mean, you got Bruce Baumgartner, Kurt Angle. I mean, again, and Garth Brooks. Where else can you get Kurt Angle and Garth Brooks in the same
It's
pose?
Team Angle.
Team Rook.
Angle.
Oh, like I say, we got a lot of great things right here.
Why is Garth Brooks in that picture?
The one and only Dan Gable spoke at the beginning. This was at the All Access meet and greet at the beginning of the event, and the man is awesome. I mean, again, if you haven't heard Dan Gable speak, you definitely need to. And again, thank you, Herb, for putting that date out there, 1934. Again, the one of the true historians of St. Louis wrestling, Herb Simmons, coming through with the date. And true story for those that didn't know, not only did we have time to spend with Herb Simmons, we ran into Herb Simmons on the ride back home, one of the last gas stations before we came back out of the state of Iowa, and we ran into Herb Simmons. Again, proof that Herb Simmons is a true road warrior coming back home from the Hall of Fame today, and ran into him on the way home. Let's go ahead here real quick, guys. Tommy Rich, Wildfire, and he's telling you, if you haven't been to the Hall of Fame in Waterloo, Iowa, you need to be there. Great picture. I know GQ and I have had an opportunity to meet him at the Cauliflower Alley Club as well.
No, I have not met him yet.
Let's go ahead and we'll move on here real quick. Joyce Paustain, the author of the book right here, The Ringside Seat to AWA.
Nice.
This is the executive director of the Hall of Fame, Jim Miller, the coach. Had an opportunity to talk with him. Great guy.
And
Bill DeMott. This was moments after the 2023 group plaque was unveiled. Really, I mean, I know there's a lot of people who have mixed reviews, but the man was nothing but a class act. Talking about really broke down. I mean, we saw him being the laughing man, Hugh Morris, among other personalities. But kind of broke down and talked about his family life, talked about the passing of his daughter as a result of a drunk driving accident, and the charity work he's done since then. Really a great interview.
Yeah. And with that, we're going to get into pictures here on for Friday evening. Look at this ring right here. This
was IPW.
IPW's ring right here. And one of the feature bouts.
The Battle Royal. And yes, to let you know, and I'm going to tell you right now with all those wrestlers, and again, you probably could see Big Texan, the Night Train Gary Jackson, Rory Fox, Gil Rogers to some. And yes, that is, again, a finalist for Wrestler of the Year, in my opinion, just because of the persona. The Squirrel was in the ring at the IPW Battle Royal.
What?
What was
this guy here with the fat tail? Yeah. I was about to say, what does the fox say? But I guess that's the wrong.
We've had bulldogs. We've had other animals, and now we have.
There's a whole bunch here. Wildfire Tommy Rich in action as a part of the 6-man tag team match for the IPW tag team titles, and he has not missed a step, guys. He was awesome.
Nice. And one of the feature ones you mentioned earlier. Here we go. Wes Briscoe, Attila Khan, James Beard.
And referee James Beard, the legend in the ring here. And that is a phenomenal picture of Wes trying to, literally dislocate Attila Khan's elbow, which is a sound strategy. I don't know how he did it, man. I mean, with his dad going to the hospital like hours before, he went out there and delivered and got a victory. I got to say, one of the matches of the night you see here, this was trying to take Wes Briscoe home night at IPW. Big Texan talking about being in the Battle Royal. Shout out to Big Texan.
Awesome. Yeah, we see Wes here out here next to JJ's daughter, Pam, right here trying to get up. And then I have no idea what the heck.
And for the record, the gentleman behind there, we had a discussion after the event because, as you saw in the pictures, I was wearing the NWO Hollywood. He was wearing the NWO Wolfpack. Got into a pretty loud discussion at the IPW event, but in the end, it was all too sweet.
Great photo.
Should have actually fell on Barbara more, but
and the reason it was a great match, Tyler Cooley, is because Wes Briscoe's underrated.
Oh,
I would agree
How
with
do we
you
know
there.
that it wasn't Attila that sent his dad to the hospital though to try to get him off his game? I mean, Attila's mean.
Yeah. Now,
like I said, it was one of those that was thankful that he was able to come back and be a part of the festivities. Really shows the dedication. Now, this was a part of the round table that was held Saturday morning. And again, I'm just going to leave it at this. Joe Malenko, Les Thatcher, Bill DeMott, and Rock Riddle. I will tell you right now, if you are an aspiring wrestler and you wanted to learn about the sport of professional wrestling, this was right here. They were only supposed to go for an hour. I think they went close to an hour and a half, and there were people that were still talking 45 minutes after the event was done.
Wow. That's incredible. It's awesome. And I think I think that's pretty much the only one I have from that morning because I'm going to go right into.
Like I said, Herb, that's all you. That is all you there referencing the Gable beer. That's totally speculation. Totally speculation. Right here, as you see here, Tom Burke receiving the Melby Award along with Ross Hart.
Right.
Ross is a great guy. I got to sit with him he was at our table at Cauliflower that year I went. I'll talk with him most of the damn night with that.
Yeah, so the Jim Melby Award recognizes excellence in professional journalism. So that was, that's what that Jim Melby Award is. Now here, was it Sarah McMahon, and that's not unknown McMahon.
The woman next to her is Becca Roper. She is a management person for the Hall of Fame, and I'm going to tell you right now, great lady. Got a lot of interviews and stuff taken care of for us. Sarah McMahon really standing out in the world of mixed martial arts and gave a great presentation. And again, if you have an opportunity to see anything, go on YouTube, find some Sarah McMahon footage. You will not be disappointed. A great in-cage competitor.
Nice. And we get you here with Mr. Conrad Thompson.
And you know something? True story here, as you can see in the picture. And unfortunately, we were in the picture again. Shout out to Conrad Thompson, a great professional wrestling podcaster. Let me call him the Podfather. If you get a chance, and I know there's some online already, he was inducted by Senior Vice President of the WWE, Bruce Pritchard, was in the house. And I got to tell you right now, this man delivered. Had an opportunity to meet him as well as Megan Flair. She was in attendance as well. Great guy, very personable man. I was very happy to get the opportunity to talk briefly with Conrad. And again, just a great experience from top to bottom.
And he was the recipient of the Gordon Soley Award this year.
Again, a very deserving individual, and he's made it a point to he wants to ultimately make the event a yearly tradition and a yearly publication. So, but again, guys, from top to bottom, a great weekend of professional wrestling. And I mean, again, there's going to be a lot of pictures. I know they're going to be on Falls Count everywhere, social media. They're going to be on the Wrestle Talk Podcast, social media in the upcoming days. Rock Riddle and our good friend Tyler Cooley. And I know Jeremy Karp isn't too fond of Mr. Tyler, but Rock Riddle is a great human being. Again, GQ, you and I could only dream of rocking a suit like that.
Yeah. And
Haku gave a very quick and to the point speech. I got to tell you, really a great opportunity to meet him at the IPW event. Shout out to Herb Simmons for making that happen.
Nice. And then here with Joe Malenko,
the son of the great Boris Malenko.
Yeah, and then here's a great panoramic shot of everybody here. You know, we see Jerry at the very far right.
Like I say, we've got Sarah McMahon, Joe Malenko, Conrad Thompson, Bruce Pritchard, Les Thatcher, Rock Riddle, the widow of Gary Albright, Bill DeMott, Haku, and Jerry Briscoe.
Yes,
the only one I am not a fan of, and here less would be DeMott, but that's for personal reasons also.
Well,
I mean, from top to bottom, guys, it was a great weekend of professional
that's a
wrestling
good
here. Tony Gurria, Bruce Pritchard, Herb Simmons.
Yeah, we got a few more.
Saw that
here.
one.
And we got you here with Thunderbolt and Les right here. Luke.
You know something, guys? I'm going to throw this out here. When I was talking to Les Thatcher, 63 years involved in professional wrestling.
Goodness gracious.
And you got Thunderbolt Patterson. I mean, a great human being. Also, thank you, Herb. Again, the Reigns family, the Anoa'i family was very much represented. In addition to the widow of Gary Albright, you also had Roman Reigns' sister in the house, among countless others here. Like I said, here's Darla Staggs, Barbara Goodish, and the one, the only Thunderbolt Patterson. And actually, do I have it down here? I hope I do.
You know what I really loved about the whole weekend is watching Darla and them's their Facebook.
But I actually got an opportunity to take an autograph from the one and only Bill Patterson, and it was a great time to be had by one and all.
Yeah, there's Ross Hart here, by the way. I
Can
guess
we cut that picture so it's only Ross and not the other kid?
What?
Can we cut it so where it's just Ross Hart, not the other kid?
You be respectful to Tyler.
Hey.
He already said I talk too much, so he was mean to me.
Off. Hey,
Tyler's our dude.
and then
There's a meeting of minds. Yeah.
Boogeyman, Tommy Rich, and of course Herb Simmons as well. Now that's a cool photo to have right
Forgot
there.
about posting that.
Then of course with Wes Briscoe, and then of course two more here. I had to get this one in here with JBL and Jerry Briscoe and is this Helen? I think this dog. I had to get the dog in here. Just me as a dog person. And then the last one here. What a picture here with Haku, Jerry Briscoe, Bruce Pritchard, JBL, and the great Baron von Raschke with the Viking helmets or with the Viking horns. So, for some reason, I chuckled at that. I don't know.
You know what? For the next St. Louis Fan Fest, we need to get that middle guy here, Bruce Pritchard.
Oh boy, I don't know. I don't know how it's.
I can't get over the Viking hat.
Because you know what though, it'll be funny. We'll get him on our show and have him just say, "I love you."
Then we ought to pull some photos from like 20 years back when we had a ponytail. We ought to make that comparison.
We had hair back then. I mean,
make that comparison to Brother Love than what you were 20 years ago. It's pretty close.
Say something.
It was. It's like I was pretty close to Ricky Martin when I was.
Luke said his.
I know. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Apparently,
you know something, guys. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is kind of like the.
There's a nice delay.
Yeah, he's probably watching the feed or whatever. But no, we can hear you, Luke. If you're talking now.
There's a nice delay.
Yeah, he's probably watching the feed or whatever. But no, we can hear you. I love hearing myself talk.
Right now, this is a picture right there in itself. I mean, you look at it. Haku, Jerry Briscoe, Baron von Raschke, wearing John Nord's helmet, by the way, and JBL.
You know, fun fact that with John Nord, we gave his guy the idea for those helmets and everything. When we got them done, told him where to get them at.
Wow. I mean, what a ton of events here, and like I said, if you weren't there,
and he signed a lot of them when he was there. He had them for sale as a part of the Hall of Fame as well.
Yeah, they knew that was going to be a good thing. Wait for it.
And he signed a lot of them when he was there. He had them for sale as a
Wait
part
for
of
it. Wait for it. They knew that was going to be a good thing. Wait for it.
Oh my gosh. I think oh my gosh. 2 weeks later.
Hey Luke, why don't you jump out and come back in?
Weeks later.
Hey Luke, why don't you jump out and come back in?
If I could, I would.
Remember I made the joke, was it about a couple weeks back about having like a tin can with the string tied at the end of it?
This is one of those moments.
I think it's one of those moments.
Go to the next photo then. Let's just.
That's all I have. That's all.
Oh, that's it.
I got. That's all I got.
Even if we did it, each photo is going to take like 2 minutes.
Yeah, see, look. There we go. We're all gonna.
We'll stare at Luke.
You're giving me such a hard time, Q.
Duh. Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh my goodness.
You're giving me such a hard time, Q.
We love you, Luke. We love you. Don't mind GQ.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, from top to bottom, if you haven't been to the Hall of Fame, you need to make it a point to go and be there. It's a great weekend, and GQ's going to give me a lot of grief, but again, you need to make it a point. Waterloo, Iowa, National Hall of Fame. Want to give a shout out to all the great folks at the Hall of Fame, Chad and Troy and Jim and Becca. Want to give a shout out to Jerry Briscoe and all the people behind the scenes. Want to give a shout out to all the great wrestlers at IPW, all the legends that were there. And I'm going to tell you, if you haven't been there, you need to be looking up all that great footage because the Hall of Fame next year celebrates 25 years, and you need to be there. And who knows? Next year, we might have Falls Count Everywhere, the Wrestle Talk Podcast, Roundabout Sports, and countless other podcasts at the Hall of Fame. Next year, we might have Falls
Herb, pick me up on the way.
Nice guy. Well, like I said, I think we need to make it a point as well for us to make it there. And like I said, I mean, heck, we've had a local. We were here at a local fan fest, and well, we've got to make at least one road trip before this whole podcast disintegrates for whatever reason. So we want to make sure we're holding on true and strong to it. So 2024, we've got a lot of things to set on here. But whatever that, I mean, I know Luke have brought a lot to us here tonight, and a lot of insight and everything else. But if you'd like to catch some more insight from the guys that actually were there, we're talking with DJ Big Sexy, we're talking with Jeremy Karp, we're talking with Jay Wade, hopefully joining back in when he's back on with the show on Tuesday. Once again, Wrestle Talk Podcast every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central goes live, and hopefully the Night Owl is there with discussing all this here too. They're going to recap everything again, maybe with some other insights from the guys over there too. So make sure that you're tuning in to Wrestle Talk Podcast this coming Tuesday, and of course every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central. And you can find them at WrestleTalkPodcast.net, and of course also look for them on Facebook as well.
And with no delay, like our show has right now.
You're going to get snacked, I know that. Right now.
We need to get our title back too for trivia.
Poor Luke.
Well, gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now, it's been an honor and a privilege to be here on Falls Count Everywhere. Need to catch it every Sunday night right here on all your great social media outlets. Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure, and I look forward to being back here real soon without the delay.
Yeah, well, I totally understand.
We got a rematch coming up too for trivia. We got to get that planned.
Oh yeah,
I'll throw it out there. I'll throw it out there on the delay.
Oh,
yeah, I'll wait.
Can we actually have the delay for the trivia? That way we win.
It's going to be planned soon enough.
Yeah, well, I'll throw it out there. I'll throw it out there on the delay.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Awkward silence.
Bye.
Oh, we're
Have a
not
good
even
one, Luke.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
He knows better now.
All righty.
We'll see
Thank
you in the
you.
future, buddy.
All right. Well,
Hey,
yeah,
if you
we'll
think
talk
I'm the-
soon, bud. Trust me.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, I was gonna do something. I was gonna say, if you think I'm the best, don't say anything for 5 seconds.
Yeah. We got to find a way to take our trivia title back, man. Where's that SummerSlam challenge coming up? Because that's coming up in 13 days, and I've been watching all my SummerSlam pay-per-views
Man, I'm still trying
from
to
the
keep up
beginning.
with wrestling that's going on today.
Yeah.
Going back to watch right now is pain.
No, it's all right. I sometimes I prefer to go back over the past when the stuff was good and enjoyable.
Man, all I'm saying, you need to
They had cheesy
go.
gimmicks.
If you guys haven't seen it yet, you need to go watch the FTR versus Bullet Club Gold 2 out of 3 falls. Holy cow.
Is that the blood and guts?
No, that's on Collision.
On
Yeah,
Collision,
I
okay.
haven't even got there to the blood and guts stuff. I'll probably skip over it, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it's kind of like the express version of like war games or something. It's like, hey, I didn't know you were having it. Well, at least I didn't know, but of course, I'm not.
You're not
really
in
should be
tune to
more
the
in tune.
AEW. Yeah, you're not in tune to the AEW, so it's okay. It's fair.
I should be, but
There's some good stuff there. I'm telling you, there's some really good stuff. And
some,
that
there's some.
Bullet Club Gold versus FTR, that was a thing of beauty. That
Yeah, it
was
was.
really good match.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I love good wrestling, but I also like a little bit of a story and something to believe behind it too.
That's a fact right there.
Yeah.
That's a
I'm
fact.
sorry. Just the way I am, just the way I've been brought up, and how I am in the business, and how I've watched wrestling from the very beginning. Uh, when I, as a child. So, I got into the stories. I got in believing behind my character and my favorite guys, and just go from there. So,
I'm proud of you, Dominic.
Dominic. Oh yeah. I was kind of wondering here. Are you going to get Rhea's new shirt?
Oh, for sure.
Mommy's always on top.
For sure.
Yeah, I was like, yep, that's a new shirt Zach's got to have. I'm sure.
I have several of her shirts already. Like, she is legitimately one of my favorite professional wrestlers. Like, can I actually like have a moment of just like to gloat about her, like how good she is? And I don't know if people realize how good she is. Like, she adds so much to the guys that she's with just because of how her mannerisms are on the outside of the ring. When you watch like Dominic or Damien or Finn, anyone like get kicked, and she's just like, dude,
Right.
she's so good, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you cannot be happy to just see her. And she's, oh my God, she's the perfect specimen of a woman, if you ask me.
She's definitely
Dude, I love everything about Judgment Day. I love everything about, and I was a very big critic of Dom when he first started. So I am happy that he like put my foot in my mouth, shut me up, because he is one of my favorite things in professional wrestling today. I love Judgment Day. I love like the new roughness that Finn's getting. I like the tension between him and Priest. I like Priest having like this kind of egotistical head right now. And dude, they're freaking killing it.
Yeah, I love it.
I can't deny that.
They are making professional wrestling once again fun. Like, that's what WWE is really doing, and it just brings my point that we needed the COVID era and we needed the Thunderdome, and taking it back to the roots and kind of going back to storytelling and how to, like, the things I've been saying isn't wrong. Like, you can hate it all you want, but the Thunderdome was great for wrestling because it's bringing storytelling back to the forefront.
That it is.
I think storytelling is hard though without a crowd.
That's why it was going back to, you talk about going to the roots. You talked about going to the Hall of Fame ceremony in Waterloo, right? Do all that stuff. Go back to the roots. Learn what made wrestling fun again. That's what COVID brought us. Like, the Thunderdome, go back and watch it. Really, the Hurt Business.
I'm not watching Thunderdome. No,
the Hurt Business
I
was
can't.
amazing. The Hurt Business was one of the most beautiful things during that whole era. And we're hopefully going to get a revamp of that maybe now. Like, we're going to get storytelling. That's what was great about it. Like, so I'm very pleased with how wrestling is and how it's, and Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley are the best.
Yeah, they're taking the they're taking the world by storm in WWE. At least as far as I'm concerned. Be kind of interested to see what they have planned for both of them. For SummerSlam, like I said, about 2 weeks.
Do you think they'll put the North American title on SummerSlam potentially?
On who?
That's SummerSlam.
Why would they not like now try to attempt to put a SummerSlam match for the North American title, like move it up? Like,
well,
they could do something with Great American Bash still, but like, I don't know.
Yeah,
like Dom goes to Great American Bash, goes, I'm not performing here. Come up here to SummerSlam and perform. Like, dude, they could really play his character with this, and I would love it so much.
Right.
By the way, I know you didn't see it, and you don't watch NXT all the time, but God dang it, Stacks in what's his name? The other Italian guy. Oh, why am I thinking his name right now?
Yeah, I tell you, but I don't know who you're talking about.
Whatever, never mind. It was funny, and now I forgot his name. Somebody in the chat's gonna be like, Zach, it was this, and I'll be like, my bad. Zmiz forgets sometimes, but like, no. But they had a bit where he got out of prison, like he just got out of jail, and Tony D'Angelo just got out of jail, right? And so Dom and Ripley are in the back. And Tony comes up and goes, I don't remember who he said, but some dude's name, and Dom's like, oh yes, he was my man in the yard, like or something. And I love that whole great storytelling. Just the little stuff makes it funny.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's a name, by the way, to look out for, Tony D'Angelo.
Oh, I'll agree with that.
He's gonna be good. I want to call him Anthony for some reason, and always messes me up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think I'm ringing in again. I think.
Yeah, you are.
Oh gosh, I had to go mess with things. Oh, dang.
Why do you have to keep trying to hit buttons?
I didn't mean to hit anything, but
it happens, dude. We're on the way out anyway.
Yeah, we are
run down.
So it's all right.
So
it's all right. No, but as far as we definitely will have somebody here for next week, and hopefully my sign could stay up, or something stay up behind me instead of just it fell behind me apparently during at some point, and I just so oh well.
You fire him from doing the opening monologue, and everything falls apart with him now. You see that?
That's all right. Yeah, I gotta. Yeah,
I didn't even notice it fall over until like I saw it was down. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I bet Ruby's frustrated about that one.
No, I mean, what can I do? It's like, okay, well, there it is. I mean, I gotta buy better adhesive for my command hooks, apparently.
And once again, look, somebody agrees with me. I appreciate you agreeing with me because I'm right most of the time. That's what I tell my kids and my wife. Make me feel better.
Let's with one final thought from each one of us. For anything wrestling wise, what are you guys looking forward to? For you personally, whether it be if you're involved in a promotion or anything watching, what are you interested in? What one thing you're interested in the within the remaining summer month or weeks ahead?
That's an open-ended question. Could cause some problems here.
Well, I guess it all depends what you want to think of here. So I mean, anything you're ambitious of to do in the business or something to watch.
The end of the year. Hopefully, before the end of the year, I can step foot near a ring again. So,
okay, yeah. What about you, Z? Do you have any ambitions?
No, we'll see what's going on. I mean, I know who's reached out to me with my injuries since I got slammed by the Voodoo Man. We'll see what happens.
Dude, that was like a year ago.
I'm still recovering from it, you putz.
I was like,
all I gotta say
was
is
a hard plan.
Zmiz is here to be taken seriously. So
there you go. We have fun. We'd like to be taken serious as well. And let's just say, I mean, I've actually have stepped in the ring, like I said, last weekend, and I think I did fairly good. And it's actually
Hot damn time.
well, I mean, as far as my therapy with my knee is right now, because beforehand, before this all like this final straw that just went, to everything, my knee was swelling up from off and on before then, and I had to perform with that. But now what I've done with the therapy and the stem cell and everything else and everything building back up with all the exercises that I'm doing 3 times a week, and I'm also doing other stuff throughout the week as well to help with building my knee back up. My swelling is no longer there. Like I said, I'm doing more than I was before, even before the big thing that really made it injure on my left knee, and I'm actually, I'm looking forward to doing more. I mean, others may look at me as a risk, but hey, it's your loss. If well, not really your loss, but I'm just saying it's not going to be my loss. I'm going to be fine, and I think it's
We'll talk in the green room off air and all that about the stem cell stuff you had done. Kind of curious.
right. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to getting in the ring. I do plan on being in attendance for SICW on August 12th. So,
oh, nice.
That's my next big show just to show up at, and we'll see what happens. Then of course ACW on August 26th, which I won't officially announce yet because the state's being a butt. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and sign off here. We will have a show here next week. It's going to be 1 or 2 guests here. I'm not quite sure. We'll get a confirmation by this coming Tuesday. But we will have somebody here as a featured guest, and that will be for episode number 110.
Ooh,
looking forward to that.
Ooh,
And, hey, 2 weeks from tonight, Angel Numbers.
Angel numbers. I was thinking the same thing, bro.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was like,
No, but we thank you. We thank everybody that's tuned in here tonight. If you missed part of it, go back and watch the recap when it'll upload on YouTube, Facebook, of course, Twitter at FCE Podcast, and of course, Twitch for about maybe a week or so. But make sure you're getting the word out there. We are on TikTok and Instagram at Falls Count everywhere. We'll be posting more about that. And but we want to make sure we're getting as much publicity as possible, because the more likes, the more subscriptions we can get, then the more places and platforms we can go out here and get our show out. And that's what our goal here is. We want to do. All right. But we love everybody that's tuned in here tonight, and we look forward to next week's show. Just watch our Facebook page for the announcement of our guest. But until then, I want you to all enjoy the rest of your evening. Have a great week coming up. Your last week of July, pretty much, and then you kind of get through these hot summer weeks as usual.
I go camping next week.
Oh Lord.
Oh Lord.
Pepper says bye too.
Oh, well, bye, Peps. Bye, Pepper. Yeah. So for GQ and the Gem City Mouse and Miz, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby. Thank you very much for everybody tuning in tonight for episode number 109 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast with our George Tragos, Thesz, National Wrestling Hall of Fame Weekend Review. And we'll see you next week with more stuff. And Golden Memes will be back next week, guys. So take care.
Oh, shit. We forgot that.
No, we didn't. We were going to have time today.
No, you didn't read the bulletin. So anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it would have been on the delay for Rob anyways, or Luke Roberts. So
yeah. So we will see you all next week. Same time, same channel. Hopefully more channels in the future. But bye for now. Have a great week.
Later.
See ya. Thanks again for tuning in to tonight's episode of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Don't forget our friends at the following: Outside the Ring STL, the Searcher and Hide podcast, and We Talk Wrestling. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast is an LTX Enterprises production.